Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Phil Rodriguez.
And I'm Luke Underwood. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
A hoax prompted the lockdown of 2 Miami-Dade schools Wednesday morning. Authorities responded to Christopher Columbus High School and St. Brendan Catholic Church and its school campus after a report of a potential armed suspect. School staff received a phone call and notified police, and officials conducted a thorough sweep of both schools, but no active shooter and no threat was found. Authorities later determined it was a hoax.
There were some instances where some classrooms gathered tables around to blockade the doors. And in my case, my classroom, we all just followed regular procedure and we hid behind walls where they couldn't see us in case an intruder actually did come inside the classroom.
How scary was all that?
It was pretty terrifying, I'll be honest with you.
It's terrible. It's terrible. You never think it's going to happen at your kid's school, you know, and you feel like there's nothing you can do.
After 3 days, the latest partial government shutdown is over. While the Senate reached an agreement on a funding bill late Friday, the deal wasn't official until the House voted Tuesday afternoon, and the bill made it to the president's desk shortly thereafter. Cheryl Hubbard has the latest.
President Donald Trump, flanked by fellow Republicans in the Oval Office Tuesday, signed a massive funding bill to reopen the government. The end of the 3-day shutdown coming after the House voted for the measure earlier in the day.
On this vote, the yeas are 217 and nays are 214. Without objection, the motion is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
The legislation funds almost all government agencies through September, except for the Department of Homeland Security. Lawmakers now have less than 2 weeks to work out a deal on changes to ICE following the killings of at least 2 U.S. citizens by federal immigration officers this year.
The American people want to see the mask come off. The American people want to see body cameras turned on and mandated. The American people want to see judicial warrants before ICE or DHS officers can storm homes.
House Speaker Mike Johnson pushed hard for GOP members to back the spending bill despite some resistance.
For some reason, many of the House Democrats wanted to shut the government down again and inflict pain on the American people. But I'm glad to tell you, I'm happy to report, Republicans got the job done. Our majority worked together, and we got the bills over the line.
I'm Cheryl Hubbard reporting.
Lawmakers have a February 13th deadline to reach a funding deal or risk a potential DHS shutdown.
Well, you got all that ice up in Minneapolis, and then we had all that snow recently, but is that going to continue? Elijah's got our first look at weather.
Hi there, I'm Elijah with your first look at weather. As you can see outside, we're going to have 52 degrees out there, mostly sunny. We're going to have a north wind of 15 miles per hour with a gust of 22 miles per hour. Yes, you heard me right, 22 miles per hour. A windbreaker is not going to cut it. You're definitely going to need a hefty jacket out there. We're going to have humidity of 56%, I should say, and it feels like 48 degrees out there just because of that wind chill and because of that humidity. If we look through, we're going to see that algae index. We're going to see that tree, grass, weed, mold, they're all down like they have been as we have started the year, and it's going to still continue to be down, all right? And as we look ahead, not only for the week, but as we keep going throughout the season, we're going to see cloudy weeks coming up ahead. We're seeing sunny weekends. All right, we're going to see chill winds up to 20 miles per hour, as y'all saw, as we have today. And we're going to have highs around 70 degrees, right? But a fun fact for all y'all, the first baseball and softball tournaments are happening this weekend this year. So I hope to see y'all outside enjoying the weather. I'm going to throw it right back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Elijah. The man convicted of trying to assassinate then-President candidate Donald Trump has learned his sentence. Ryan Ruth was sentenced to life in prison. A federal judge in Florida handed down the sentence Wednesday. Prosecutors had pushed for him to get life sentence. Ruth has an attorney now, but represented himself during his trial. Prosecutors say Ruth laid in wait for Trump at his West Palm Beach golf course in 2024.
Amid recent hostilities in Minneapolis, a group of journalism students at the University of Minnesota is seeing up close what real-world reporting can look like. And that includes how to handle dangerous situations in the field. Jeff Wagner explains how new training is teaching these students what to do in a crisis.
UPM have had like a ton out so far.
This group of journalism students at the University of Minnesota found themselves training for scenarios they never expected to face in college.
Well, it was a little disconcerting, honestly, to be talking about tourniquets and dressing bullet wounds with 21-year-olds.
The hostile environment and first aid training mirrors what professional journalists in war zones receive before heading into the field.
On the other hand, I would much rather have them be prepared, given the climate.
The training is optional, and students decide for themselves how far they're willing to go.
Some students have just been like, send me out, coach. And others have been like, I'm cool, this is not my scene. And that's fine.
I think information is power, and I think that the more information and the more we're being taught how to navigate potentially those situations that we're in, how to protect our rights as journalists.
For students like senior Hannah Reynolds who choose to take part, the experience raised questions about what the job requires and where the line is.
I never imagined myself learning how to patch a bullet wound.
Expecting the unexpected while remaining professional.
No story is worth dying over.
Whether you're a student journalist right now or you're a professional with decades of experience, you're getting thrust into this scenario that is volatile for everyone involved.
We as journalists are people, and I think it's really important that we remember that we are people first and storytellers second.
Along with the crisis training, the school also provides safety guidelines for students who choose to report in the field.
The big game means big business, and consumers watching the game at home are expected to spend a little more money on snacks this weekend. Karen Kafa is in Washington with a look at what's up and what's down at the supermarket ahead of this Sunday.
Football fans hosting family and friends for Sunday's big game will pay a little bit more overall for snacks than last year. The Wells Fargo Agri-Food Institute crunched the numbers on a spread for a party of 10. They found it will cost about $140, up 1.6% from 2025. Wells Fargo Food and Agriculture Chief Economist Michael Swanson says some fan favorites are trending lower.
Chicken wings got less expensive thanks to more supply. Avocados are down about 2.5% as well. Nachos are down, the chips are down.
Some proteins, Swanson says, have pushed higher, like shrimp.
We import most of the shrimp that we eat from a bunch of countries like India, Vietnam, Thailand, and it was kind of really low pricing last year, so it's bounced back. So up about 8% from a year ago.
And Stu Leonard Jr., president and CEO of the Stu Leonard supermarket chain, says sliders may be the best option for burgers because beef prices are still elevated.
Beef market is still a little bit high. It's a little tense out in the market, but that's a supply and demand issue.
Wells Fargo also found some fresh vegetables trending higher. Cherry tomatoes, celery, and cauliflower up between 2% and 4%. But there's better news for cheese lovers.
You can't have a Super Bowl party without a big cheese platter right here, okay?
Dairy prices have been falling, Leonard says, lowering the cost of that cheese platter. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
The Super Bowl is this weekend. I'm very excited, but I think I'm most excited the fact that I won't have to slip and fall on my way to my watch party.
Should be nice, high temperatures this weekend. Elijah will have more details for us. Full look at weather is up next.
It's time to explore, to come out and play. Our city is waiting, so what do you say? Whether daytime or nighttime, the right time is now. Finding those moments to make you go wow. Amazing new places to fit every mood. Shopping and dining. Did we mention the food? There are green parks and ballparks and water parks too. Museums, attractions, and also a zoo. The modern frontier is the friendliest place. Now is the time for your dreams to be chased.
It's the Roadway Replay.
Time for the lightning round, Brian. Let's rewind your drive to work. How far did your car travel while you checked your phone? 20 feet, 100 feet, the length of a football field?
100 feet.
Oh, sorry, Brian. In just 3 seconds on the highway, your car traveled the length of a football field.
Distracted driving? It's no game.
Hi there, I'm Elijah with your full look of weather. As I mentioned before, it's going to be 52 degrees out there, mostly sunny, with a north wind of 15 miles per hour, gusts of 22 miles per hour. Very windy. You want to keep a jacket, you want to keep something on you, make sure you don't freeze out there. We got a humidity of 56%, right, and it feels like 48 degrees out there. So you definitely want to have something, a hat or something, gloves, please. Right, if we look at the current conditions outside, we're going to be in the 50 to 55 degree range, all right? We're going to see OKC at 52. We're going to see, if we look higher on the state, we're going to see Ponca City at 50 degrees, Tulsa at 47. But if we look lower in the state, we're going to see that those degrees kind of climb up with Altus up there, over here, I should say, with 56 degrees, and it's going to keep climbing. As we look through tonight, we're going to see that we're going to settle at a 32 degrees, all right? Clear 32 degrees with a north-northeast wind of 6 miles per hour, gusts of 7 miles per hour. So it's going to drastically go down from what it was this morning, right? Still doesn't mean it's not going to be as cold outside. That humidity is going to climb up a little bit. We got to be at 77 degrees, but there is no rain chances so far, all right? As we look through tonight, we're going to see that the whole state is going to settle down with us around that 30-degree mark, with Lawton down there at 30 degrees, as well as Ardmore. But if we look higher in the state, we're going to see that we're going to be in the high 20s, with Ponca City at 26, Woodward around 29, and Enid around 27. As we look through the daily forecast for tomorrow, right, we're going to start out the day with 36 degrees, a cloudy 36 degrees. All right, we move throughout the day. At noon, we're going to be at 67 degrees, that peak of that day. It's going to be a little foggy, though, so you want to make sure that you are ready and steady for that. And as we go through the rest of the day, we get to 7 p.m., we're going to be at a clear 42 degrees. As we look through tomorrow, we're going to be climbing up throughout the state, with our highs being 71 out there at Altus. We're going to be at high 60s, with 67 here in the States, here in OKC, I should say, and a Pano around 66 degrees. Right. Let's look through the 7-day forecast. We're going to see that today is going to be sunny. Tomorrow on Thursday, we're going to see a little bit clouds, but throughout the weekend, we're going to see sun galore, all right? The only rain chances we're going to see is around Tuesday, where that's 20% rain chance at around the middle of the day. So that's going to be all I have for you. I hear the weather. I got to ask y'all a quick question, though, at the desk. What are y'all going to do now that the sun, I should say, is going to be shining? What's your plans for the weekend? Are you guys going to go outside and enjoy some sports, maybe?
Hard to go outside when we got that Super Bowl on. I'm going to be staying in watching TV. Yeah, no, I'm happy it's sunnier, though. I did not enjoy all the snow and being stuck inside that long. I was losing my mind.
I'm definitely going to be outside a little bit. I got some cheer and dance practices. I'll be at the baseball and softball things this weekend, and I know you're going to be there with me, Phil.
Probably doing a little
Thank you,
stuff.
Elijah. Coming up, a classic social media platform is celebrating 22 years.
And I will have a rundown of a few iconic ads that will play during the Super Bowl after the break.
Rugged, rough, built for the road ahead.
Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man.
Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
Did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Howdy ho, Broncos. I'm Phil Rodriguez, and this is your social media block. Well, today marks 22 years since Facebook launched. Makes me feel old. Mark Zuckerberg was a Harvard University sophomore when he introduced the social networking site to fellow students. What began as a campus-only website quickly expanded beyond colleges and then beyond expectations. Facebook buried early rivals like MySpace, Friendster, and Zynga. It built an edge with its initial exclusivity, requiring a college-specific email address to join in its early years, and by connecting real-life relationships online. Now, 2 decades after its launch, the social media giant continues to show unprecedented staying power, currently reaching more than 2 billion users every day. Well, Super Bowl ads have started to pop up online, and we've taken the liberty of snagging a few of our favorites. First up, Kendall Jenner is taking shots at her exes while highlighting sports betting in her first ever Super Bowl ad. In the commercial for Fanatics Sportsbook, Jenner talks about placing bets on her NBA ex-boyfriends and winning big, as she shows off her luxury lifestyle featuring a mansion, vintage car, and private jet. She laughingly says, "How else do you think I could afford all this?" Of course, Fanatics Sportsbook is currently unavailable in Oklahoma due to sports betting laws. But speaking of Kendall Jenner, she may be famous for her Pepsi ad from almost a decade ago, but this year's Pepsi ad features a different famous icon. The ad hopes to reignite the cola wars as it features a polar bear, which Coca-Cola has used in iconic commercials for years. The bear takes a blindfolded Pepsi challenge and learns, horrifyingly, that he prefers Pepsi Zero. Oh no. This leads him to question everything about who he is, going as far as seeking help from a therapist played by the ad's director, Oscar-winning director Taika Waititi. And one more we want to highlight for you is a Michelob Ultra commercial featuring Hollywood star Kurt Russell. The commercial features Russell as a ski instructor who shows a young man the ropes, played by actor Louis Pullman of Marvel's Thunderbolts fame and Bill Pullman's son. The spot also features Olympic gold medalist Chloe Kim and former hockey star TJ Oshie. It's said to be a nod to the upcoming Winter Olympics and was filmed on location at Utah's Snowbird Mountain Resort. Well, there's a little sad news here. Pizza Hut is closing hundreds of locations across the U.S. due to declining sales, although I guess it's positive news if you like Domino's. In an earnings call Wednesday, parent company Yum Brands said it's closing 250 Pizza Huts that have been underperforming. That amounts to about 3% of the chain's locations nationwide. Pizza Hut has struggled lately, especially against its biggest rival, the aforementioned Domino's. Yum Brands said in November it was considering various options for the chain, including a possible sale. The 250 store closures will happen in the first half of this year. Specific locations have not yet been announced. Luke, are you a little bit sad about Pizza Hut's closing down? What's your favorite Pizza Hut order? I bet you're a barbecue chicken pizza guy.
I definitely am going to be a little upset about that. My parents, personally, they love Pizza Hut. I prefer Domino's, Papa John's, but, you know, it is sad to see the Hut go down. Thank you, Phil. What crazy stuff is happening in the NBA, and where are the Broncos playing this weekend? I will have a lot to talk about after the break.
Sometimes it makes everything funny. Sometimes it's nothing to laugh about. Weed. It's funny like that. And unlike alcohol, with marijuana, there's no legal limit. So even if you don't feel high, you could get a DUI. No matter how much weed you've had, don't get behind the wheel, because driving impaired is illegal, and that's no joke.
Hooves up, roll Chos. Today's a great day to cheer on the Broncos.
Welcome back to the Pain Train.
Okay, Sean, here's your final question. A train hitting your car is the same as your car hitting a boulder, a brick wall, or a soda pop can.
A brick wall?
At a whopping 20 million pounds, a train will crush your car like a pop can.
Beating a train? It's a game you can't win.
Hello, hello, Bronco Nation. I am Luke Underwood, and let's get straight into your Wednesday sports stories. The UCO baseball team was successful yesterday. In the season opener, the Broncos hosted Oklahoma Baptist University in a fiery matchup that ended with a monstrous score of 8-7 in favor of the Chos. The Broncos will be back in action tomorrow and this weekend, with the Chos hosting the Edmond Pitch Classic at Wendell Simmons Field. Their first matchup will see them battle the UCentral Tigers at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Over to the hardwood, the UCO women's basketball team are in action tomorrow night. The Broncos, who are currently 8-13 on the season, are traveling to Maryville to face the Northwest Missouri Bearcats. The Bearcats hold a record of 11-10, with them coming off of a win against Missouri Western last Saturday. The Broncos versus Bearcats will be tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. in Missouri. And speaking of Bronco basketball, the men's team is also heading to Missouri to head off against the Northwest Missouri Bearcats as well. The Broncos, who are currently 14-10, are on a 2-game winning streak. However, the Broncos are 2-5 away this season, so maybe they can turn their luck around. That match will tip off at 7:30 p.m., and you can watch both the men's and women's games on the MIAA network. Now over to the professional court, the Oklahoma City Thunder defeated the Orlando Magic last night. OKC had Orlando's number, with the final box score coming out to 128-92. OKC is also in action tonight, and they are battling a tough opponent. The 40-11 Thunder are heading to San Antonio to face the 33-16 Spurs. The Spurs, who are second in the Western Conference, only behind the Thunder, have had the Thunder's number all season. The Thunder are also sitting several starters, so it might be a hard watch for fans of OKC. The Oklahoma City Thunder versus San Antonio Spurs will tip off tonight at 8:30 p.m. from Frostbank Center. Speaking of the Thunder, the NBA trade deadline is tomorrow, and the Thunder took part in 2 trades earlier today. First, the Thunder are sending Houston's 2026 first-round pick and 3 second-round picks to the Philadelphia 76ers for guard Jaron McCain. As well, the Thunder took part in a 3-team trade, which saw the Thunder receive Mason Plumlee from the Hornets and send Ousmane Dieng to the Bulls. As well, the Hornets received Kobe White and Mike Conley, and the Bulls also received Colin Sexton and 3 future second-round picks. Also, 2 other huge trades happened last night and this morning. Former MVP James Harden is being sent to the Cleveland Cavaliers in a swap for Darius Garland and a future second-round pick. And finally, Anthony Davis, alongside Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum, have been traded to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Chris Middleton, Malachi Branham, A.J. Johnson, Marvin Bagley, 2 future first-round picks, and 3 future second-round picks. As well, Chris Paul also got traded. A lot of huge trades happening today, and more expected for tomorrow. That's all I have for you now. Back to Phil at the desk.
Yeah, it's taken a while for trade season to get kind of crazy, but boy, it finally happened. Well, coming up, McDonald's is going luxury, but with a cheap price tag, and Elijah DePona will have our last look at weather after the break. Don't go anywhere.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move to meet our students where they are and get them where they want to go. Over time, thousands of students have made the move to UCO. They come to pursue their passions and find their calling, to improve their lives, families, and communities. UCO moves and motivates students in and out of the classroom. Here, potential takes flight. Our students' curiosity ignites a spark that fuels transformation. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the university that hasn't stopped moving since 1890. In fact, we are gaining momentum. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Well, if you can only afford McDonald's for Valentine's Day, the Golden Arches has a way to soften the blow. Add some caviar. Mickey D's is offering a kit that contains an ounce of caviar. It is meant to pair with, what else? Chicken nuggets. And the best part, it's free. Starting next Tuesday at 11 a.m., you can order yours at mcnuggetcaviar.com. It's not clear how many kits are available, but at that price, you can bet it's not many. And the combo isn't the brainchild of some twisted marketer. Pairing caviar with McNuggets became a bit of a thing on social media. Even singer Rihanna posted about it. We've got one last look at weather. Elijah's going to show us all the delightful temperatures and sun that is coming up later this week. What you got?
Appreciate it, Phil. Elijah DePona with your last look of weather. I'm just going to touch upon what we mentioned about tomorrow. We're going to have cool weather. All right, we're going to start at 7 a.m. with 36 degrees. Right, as we get to noon, we're going to reach a high of 67 degrees. All right, with a foggy high of 67 degrees. And then as we get later on in the day, we're going to end it off around 42 degrees. If we look through tomorrow, we're going to see that we're going to be at 67 degrees in OKC, 67 degrees in Clinton, 67 degrees in Woodward, 67 all over. All right, but except for that. The Panhandle, where we're going to be at 66, and as we look lower in the state, the temperatures are going to rise, with Altus being the highest at 71. As we look through the 7-day forecast, today is sunny, it's beautiful, it's great. It's a great day to go outside and enjoy the weather. On Thursday, it's going to be a little cloudy, but as we get to the weekend, we're going to be able to see that the sun is going to be outside, and you're going to be able to enjoy it, be it going out to a sport event or just enjoying it with the family. All right, and as we move on later on to next week, we're going to see that on Tuesday, we're going to have a 20% chance of rain. But not too high, all right? Nothing too crazy. But that's all I'm going to have for y'all at the desk. Right back to y'all.
Thank you, Elijah. And every custodian's worst nightmare, but nothing makes a party more festive than confetti. The family-owned company that makes it for the Super Bowl is a little more than an hour outside Boston. It starts here as tissue paper, but has to be shipped to California to be cut. Workers at Seaman Paper Company have a dog in this year's fight. They're Patriots fans, but no matter who wins, their Lombardi-shaped confetti is going to rain down. The only question is, which color will Levi Stadium use? There are 2 different batches made with the colors of each team. Seaman says the Super Bowl isn't the biggest event to use its confetti, but it's the most exciting.
I got my cheese board ready to go, Luke.
You got your cheese board?
My full Super Bowl cheese board.
Well, you didn't tell me. I didn't bring anything yet.
Well, that's why it's looking so empty. No wonder.
I'm sorry. I'll make sure to get
Crackers
it to you.
and camembert, bro. That's what I told you. You believe this guy?
My bad, Phil. I'm sorry.
Golly. Party planner extraordinaire. Well, anyways, that's all the time we've got for today, guys. We really appreciate you tuning in to UCentral News. I'm Phil Rodriguez.
And I'm Luke Underwood. Have a good rest of your day.